Don't call blank because he thinks you're a nasty hoe anyway. Sell the couch that I gave you. You're so two-faced. You're a dumb bitch. Call your mom dumb bitch. That's a letter that I received from one of my many exes in my life. Um there's something about growing up in the Disney princess era where we romanticized falling in love so much that we kind of play it up and we kind of rush the love process, because I think that there is a process to love. Do I believe in love at first sight? I did believe in love at first sight, but now I believe in lust at first sight. I believe in baby at first sight, not I don't know you well enough. What do I mean by that? I'm being so vague. I was seeing someone recently and it abruptly ended. And I remember, and this was so recently, laying in bed and imagining introducing him to my family, imagining him proposing, imagining walking down the aisle and like putting cake in each other's face. And then it's like, why are you in such a rush, Ashley? I think I'm in such a rush because I'm getting so old. I'm getting so old. And this was never the plan, you know? And I know what you're thinking, man plan, God laughs. And I have this thing where if I'm into you, if I'm attracted to you, I don't see anyone else. Um no one else is attractive to me other than Chris Evans. Um but what are the odds of me running into Chris Evans, right? Um so the past couple of days I don't find anyone attractive. I don't find anyone appealing. And I want to talk about how to fall out of love. Obviously, this past relationship, I wasn't in love with him. I barely knew him a month. But how to fall out of that period of the what if in relationships. Um I find that a lot of my friends, they're really, really good at keeping their guard up in relationships. They're like, they're like dating someone for, like, I have one of my friends, she's been dating someone for a year, 2 years now. How long have I been back home? 2 to 3 years now. And she's like, oh, if it works out, it works out. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, how do you not know that he's the one of already by now? And I think that that's the massive difference between our generations, between us and our parents. I'm in my 30s, so if you're in your 20s, then I hope this is relevant to you somehow. But I think that our parents' generation, before them, our grandparents, they got married out of, there was wartime, like, so it's like, let's hurry up and get married because, like, I don't know if I'm going to be back, and let's have kids. So it's like, it was like that kind of rush, that necessity, whereas our parents, they still kind of had that inkling, whereas some of them wanted to leave home, some of them wanted to be independent, and you could do that with a partner, and now it's like, we've we've gotten rid of that, we need to do this together as a partnership. And this is going to sound really bad because I always praise her, but I think that the independent woman song kind of ruining everything, because I think I've talked about this before, but like, if I can provide everything myself, what do I need a you for? What do I need a man for? And then you have and then you have the male singers that are like, and rappers that are like, oh, you can't trust these hoes and these bitches. So it's like, if I can have any hoe or bitch, what makes you any different from them? So we don't need each other anymore. We've it's a weird combination of individuality and group thinking. So there was a time where where we segregated ourselves into groups, by race and by gender, and now it's like, and then it evolved into, oh, we're all one, um all Lucy in the sky with diamonds, rainbows, whatever, 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 right? And now we've segregated ourselves again, which makes no sense. I mean, it does make sense with social media, because your identity matters on social media. What you identify as matters, which is so silly, because that kind of forced segregation is the reason why we have so many lonely people. What does that have to do with falling out of love? I think there needs to be a coming together. There needs to be acceptance that we need each other, but not need as in like, I don't know how to be happy alone. You know, it's actually quite easy to be happy alone, but I just want your company. I know that I can do this on my own, but I want you here. I don't need you here, but I want you here. And it doesn't make it easy. It doesn't make it easy when my friend and I'm not only talking about social media, when you see the happy couples and shit. That sounds so bad and shit. But my friend and I, we went to the beach, and everyone had a couple. And I'm sure she and I looked like a lesbian couple. But I was like, everyone's in pairs. Um, so I think that the first thing you need to do is stop romanticizing what could have been. The second thing that you need to acknowledge is that they weren't the one, or maybe no, they weren't the one, and they didn't see you as the one, and that doesn't make them evil. That doesn't make them bad, and that doesn't make you a monster either. Unless you like beat them or something, or like murdered them and left them in the woods. That was a thing. You could tell what year I'm recording this. I don't think that we need to go into relationships not being ourselves, you know? What do I mean by that? Maybe you're thinking that I messed up. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. I messed up so bad that the next person that I meet, I need to make sure that I don't behave that way again. But by doing that, I'm not being myself. And I would like to be in a relationship where I can be myself. I would like to be in a relationship where I'm not having to always watch over my shoulder and make sure that I don't say or do something stupid, because I do say and do a lot of stupid things. So how do you move on? I know that I'm very heavy-ish into the poetry community, and I listen to a few open mics here and there, and people write down their pain, and it hurts in a very beautiful way. But once you're done writing, once you're done reading, how do you feel afterwards? For me, I feel a bit of relief that I don't need to carry this anymore. Something that I've been doing the past couple of nights is I imagine that I'm like holding like a ball of light, and I'm thinking about all the happy times that we had. And you know what else I'm thinking about? I think about like a time machine. I don't know if you saw that episode of Doctor Strange, spoilers on What If, but he wants to go back in time and save the love of his life. And I imagine like that little ball of light is like a time machine, and I go back to that night that we were in the hotel room together, and we're holding each other, and I'm like, I just want to go back to that night again and again and again. But here's the thing though, it still has to end. It's still going to end. So hold on to that little ball of light and just let it go. Literally imagine dropping it. If you want to throw it against the wall, if you want to go throw it on the ground. And like I said, If you have a creative outlet, try it. You don't need to share it with the world. You don't have to. Write it down on a sheet of paper, tear it up, whatever you want to do with it. Next thing you need to do is you need to get rid of their stuff. You can't be holding on to that stuff anymore because it'll just make it worse. And I think acceptance that you're going to meet a lot of people in your life, unfortunately, or fortunately. And I literally imagine in my mind, every person that I meet is a chapter. And some chapter has a continuation and some chapters end. But that's what makes your life a great story. The fact that some things do have to end. And I hope that this was helpful to someone. I have a final interview tomorrow. Another one. This is the fourth one. How many more interviews do you have to do? I think it's like the interview process is kind of like, I guess in a way it's kind of like dating. Like they want to make you nervous, you know, before they like either let you down or accept you into their life, whatever. I mean, for all I know, I might hate the job, you know, but I know that I need to change my behavior because I'm literally going insane because I keep doing the same bad things. So I was gonna say the cliche, you've survived 100 of your worst days, you can survive 101. And it doesn't feel like that at the moment because it feels like you're suffocating, right? It feels like at any moment you could stop breathing. But I'm gonna share something from a YouTuber that I actively listen to, Sisyphus95. And they said that do you know how porcupines keep warm? When it's cold outside, they try to like huddle up together, but their thorns are hurting each other. So they still have to separate. So they're always getting together and separating, getting together and separating, but you're still hurting each other. You get that temporary warmth, but you're still hurting each other. I wish I could say, let's stop hurting each other. But no one will listen. Try to do as little damage as you can. Try not to stab anyone as hard, which sounds bad. That sounds bad. Don't stab anyone. In a metaphorical sense, don't stab anyone, but not physically, you know? Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening. And I hope that you fall out of love quickly and painlessly. That's it.